Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about week 7. So if you scroll down to week 7, which is right here, for week 7, we'll be studying Vitae Impersonal. This is February 20th through the 25th. I'm going to take out the decorative picture and the long image description. So in its place is where you should see this video. For this week, you need to study pages 271 to 274. And after completing this week's assignment, you should be able to read and respond to advertisements. You should also be able to describe a product. All assignments for this week are due by the end of the day, the 23rd, and that should say 2017. I'll adjust that. And it should address SLOs 1 and 2. So just like every other week, you start off by watching your instructor videos. This video goes over the Vitae Impersonal. There's 2 of them, so watch both of those videos. Then go into the class participation forum. And I would prefer if you guys would post on mine. So open up the class participation forum and then hit reply and post any questions or concerns you have about the videos or the class in general. Okay, so when you're done, go back out here. Okay, then you are also in, you have assignment 9, which is in my language labs. There are a couple of there's 4 activities in chapter 8 that you have to complete. And then you also have a test. So we'll go into my language labs. When we're in my language labs, we find the 23rd. You're going to open up the activities that are on the 23rd. And you are going to look, there are various tutorials and extra practice. You do not have to complete those. You only have to complete the SAMs that were assigned, and you can double check to make sure you're doing what was assigned by clicking back out here in Moodle. And then you also have to complete the test. Okay, there's only one attempt, and so make sure you cannot do this assignment with you cannot do it multiple times. So make sure you're ready to take it when you click on it. And give me 1 minute. I'm gonna. Okay, so I went in. I had to delete my attempt so that I can show you what the test looks like. So again, here's test 2, which is on the 23rd. So open it up. Remember, you only get 1 attempt, so do not open it until you're ready. It tells you this is the last time you complete this activity. After you complete the activity, your score is recorded and sent to me. So open it up when you're ready. Okay. The first one is definition. So match each article of clothing with the correct description. So you're going to see, I think it's the same descriptions each time. Okay, so you'd look at abrigo and decide which of these, this basically tells you when you would wear it. And it's the same ones each time. So just go through and do that. Then when you're done, go on to the next page. Lógico o ilógico. What clothing do you associate with each situation? Read each of the following statements and indicate if it's lógico, if it's logical, or illogical. So there's a description. And then it's going to tell you, so this is the description of the weather. Sorry, right here. And then this is what you're bringing with you. And you have to decide, is it logical to be bringing or wearing these, like bringing these items and wearing these articles of clothing when the weather is this way. Okay, so you'll do that for each of them. And you'll go on to the next page. This one says, listen to Anna describe her seasonal shopping trips with her mother, then read the following statements and decide whether each one is cierto or falso. So you'll click here.
Cuando era niña, me encantaba ir de compras con mi...
And you'll listen to this whole paragraph about Anna and her shopping with her mother, and then you'll decide whether the statements are true, false, or not mentioned. And you'll go on to the next page. On the next page, match the first half of each sentence to its logical conclusion. So, cuando trabajaba en un almacén, recibía, and which of these would make the most sense to complete that sentence? And it's the same choices throughout. So, you can keep working and going back as you eliminate choices. Here, Los veranos con mis abuelos. Juan has great memories of the times he used to spend with his grandparents when he was younger. Complete the following paragraph with the correct imperfect form of the most appropriate verb. So you've got two verbs. You've got to decide which verb makes the most sense and then conjugate it into the imperfect tense. Okay, read the following paragraph about how Catalina, a student at your university, used to spend her summers as a child. Then decide whether each statement is cierto or falso. If the information is not given, select no se menciona. So read this statement here about Catalina, and then you will answer the questions below with true, false, or not mentioned. Then you move on. En la taquilla del Cine Cervantes, read each of the following statements, then based on the picture, decide if they are cierto or falso. If the information is not given, put no se sabe. So la tercera persona en la cola es rubia, so you're trying to decide, is that true? So you would put true, false, or not known. Then you'll move on. Complete the sentences by writing the word for the correct ordinal number. So this is where you're putting first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Remember that some of them do agree in gender. Okay, so just make sure if it's one of the ones that does agree in gender that you make that change. Here, complete tiendas y artículos de uso personal. Complete the following sentences with the logical word or phrase from the word bank. So you'll read the statements below, then fill in the words in the word bank to best complete it. Your roommate is learning some new vocabulary. Help by labeling each of the items pictured below. Be sure to include the appropriate definite article, which is your el, la, los, and la. So just label those, but call it, the ring, the earrings, etc. Here, you're deciding whether to use preterite or imperfect. So read each sentence, decide whether it would take preterite or imperfect, and then decide which spelling of preterite and imperfect would best complete the sentence. Okay, so on the next page, do you know pretérito versus imperfecto? Do you know when to use the preterite and when to use the imperfect? Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb in parentheses. So you're picking the verb in parentheses and deciding whether you need to be using preterite or imperfect. And I would suggest looking at words like todos los fines de semana, anoche, ayer. So those are clues as to whether you should be using preterite or imperfect. Then read each of the following, ¿qué piensas tú? Read each of the following statements carefully, then indicate whether they are lógico or ilógico. Okay, so read through the statements and then decide whether it's logical or illogical. And then the last one, complete the following sentences with the correct form of the verb in parentheses using an impersonal construction with se. So this is when you use the se impersonal. Remember if that the object being sold or being opened or what's being spoken, that determines how you conjugate the verb. So sometimes it'll be for el elia and sometimes for elios elia. So just make sure you do that and notice your time. You've got about 3 hours to complete this test. You shouldn't have to take 3 hours, but you do have 3 hours. And that's everything you have to do.